Do you play musical instruments? Many parents in Hong Kong encourage their children to learn music and to be more musical. But did you know music reading can also facilitate language processing? Interestingly, this facilitation can only be found in English word processing, but not in Chinese character processing, due to the similarities between music notation and English word reading. Both music and English are read from left to right and involve decomposing visual input into components for sound mapping. More specifically, music note reading involves note to sound mapping, and English word reading involves letter to sound mapping. These similarities in component processing suggest that music notation and English word reading may share similar neural mechanisms. In contrast, Chinese can be read in all directions. Components in a Chinese character do not always map with its sounds for pronunciation. Thus, decomposing a character into component may not be necessarily required for reading. These differences from music notation reading may suggest that they may not share similar neural mechanisms. Accordingly, in my thesis, I try to investigate whether music reading facilitates language processing with a divided visual field pentagram. Participants were asked to read aloud the stimulus or the word being presented either in the left visual field or in the right visual field. When a word is presented in the right visual field, it will be initially projected to the left hemisphere and vice versa. Thus, we are able to understand which hemisphere is more responsible for English word or Chinese character processing. We found that non-musicians had a typical advantage in processing English words in their left hemisphere, whereas musicians show an advantage in the right hemisphere. It suggested that music notation reading facilitates English word processing in the right hemisphere. The similar facilitation cannot be found in Chinese character processing. Consistently, in our brainwave study, musicians show an reduced activity in response to English word after musical notes as compared with novel symbols in the right hemisphere, but not in the left hemisphere. So it further suggested that music notation reading may facilitate English word processing in the right hemisphere. That may be due to the shared processing of relationship between components. In short, music reading facilitates English word processing, but not Chinese character processing. Learning to read music may help you, not only help you in musical abilities, but also will help you in language processing. Thank you.